Hey Faith-Preneurs, have you ever wished you could purchase that DSLR camera that will help you make your videos look super professional? But then there are two things. One is the investment, which is quite high if you want to get a good quality one. And then the other thing is the time. Who has the time to learn a whole new tool when you have to spend time creating content for your business? So today I have the solution for you. It is a new app that I just discovered that will help you create videos that look like this and turns them into this. So let's go ahead and dive into the Focos Live app. All right, let's go ahead and go right into the Focos Live app. And the first thing that you're going to see here is your ability to take the video straight inside of the app. There are a lot of apps where you have to import a video from your albums. So this is really awesome. You can go ahead and just click into it and automatically, hello there you are, and you're able to go ahead and record. Now, let me show you how I got the clarity on this video and how you can just do it all here. So there are a few things. Let's go ahead and let's start at this top left corner where the little sundial is. And here you can actually adjust the lighting. So if I want it to go dark, I go that way. If I want it to bring it lighter, I go that way. And then you have the ability to also use filters. That's the next one. So click into there. Right now I'm using the J9 filter, which completely changes the lighting. If you can see, it's so much brighter if you use that. So let's go ahead. I'm going to show you what it would look like without it. So this is the lighting actually in my room. And now let's go back over to J9, seems to be one of my favorites, and boom, you have instant lighting, great lighting everywhere, which is super important for your video. So you can play around and see what works best for you, okay? The next thing I want to show you is the little grid at the top, and that grid gives you, excuse my finger here, maybe I'll go down from the bottom, there we go. The grid gives you the ability to change the size of your video. So right now we've got 16:9, which works great for YouTube. You can also do 4:5, which will work, for example, on Instagram or Facebook, also 3:4, and of course the square 1:1, where if you have a 1-minute video that you're shooting for your Instagram feed, that works great as well. This is also a full body one, so if you want to do a story or something like that, that works awesome. So here we go. I'm going to keep it at 16:9. Over here on the 30, that's just the frames per second. Let's go ahead and just keep it at 30. That is the go-to. All right, and so here I want to show you something interesting on the bottom. Do you see, if I move my head right or left, this little white shadow of myself? That is actually what is in focus at the moment. Anything in the black area, which is this side, will be blurred. Okay, so important to take that into account, and I'm going to show you how we can switch that up as well later. So this is using my front-facing camera, which is very unique. Most of the times you have to use the camera at the front or at the back of your camera, and you can't see yourself talking. For me, that's really hard not to see myself for some reason. So I love the fact that you can actually take high quality video with you being able to see yourself. If you want more depth or distance, things like that, then you would click this little 0.5 or 1 right here. So let's go ahead and do that. It automatically switches to the back camera. So that is the 0.5, which gives you, let me move this around here, gives you much more depth right here. There is the 1. Gets a little closer, and then the 2.5 gets super close. All right, so let's come back over here. So good, now we are ready to take our video. Normally, if I'm going to use horizontal, I would also turn the phone horizontally. Right now I have it vertically up and down. So right now I'm just gonna have to move my hand back so that you can see what I've got going on here. So I'm going to start the video recording, and to do that, all I have to do is click the little red button with my shadow. So let's go ahead and start that. So now we are actually recording. You can see the timer above going, and this is what it looks like. I can move around a little bit here to just show you how it blurs out that specific background. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stop it. And you'll notice that while I took the video, everything looks the same. There's nothing blurry, but just wait until we get into the edit section. The edit section is where it's at. So let's go down to this little arrow here at the bottom, and that's going to take us over to the edit section. In fact, it kind of does a little blink at us right here, and we're going to click into that, and you'll see that it's already starting to upload the video. And boom, it is done. So now I just click onto it, and you can upload multiple videos. If you'll notice down here, it says portrait videos. These are all the videos that you've taken inside of the app. If you add in all videos, while you can add, oh, it's time to drink water. While you can add any video, it's not going to do the blur effect. So if you want the blur effect, you want it to be inside the app. So let's go ahead and let's go to edit, and here it is, and you see how it's automatically, that background area is clear. Okay, so let me show you how to change things up a little bit here. If you click onto this strip of video, let me open my eyes for you here. Okay, you're going to see here at the bottom it says Aperture. That is a word very common for people who know photography. Since I don't even know how to say it correctly, but let's just click into there. Here, the size of this is going to change the amount of blur. So let me actually come on, let's say right here, where you can create this, this blur or take it off. So if I move this to the left, it comes into focus. If I go all the way to the right, it makes it super blurry. So you are able to, depending on your preference, you're able to move the blur on and off and to where you want it. So let's not exaggerate. Let's make it like maybe halfway there. Okay, you can also change the focus. And do you see how we have now this red thing right here around my face? That's because that is where, remember that white shadow? That's where the camera was focusing. It was focusing on me. But let's say if I move, hold on, let me grab it. If I move it, you have to long press and hold and then tap. If I move it, now the focus is the dresser and I'm blurry. So it's kind of cool because you can change focus depending on where you are in the video as well. So lots of fun stuff. I'm going to change it back to my face. You can change the shape of, right now it's like a circle, the blur. You can change it to lots of different shapes right there, which is great. You've got highlights. You can duplicate your video and so forth. Okay, let's go back. And now we did Aperture. Let me show you filter. That's kind of similar, basically the same thing as what I had shown you before. I thought I turned my notifications off. Sorry about that. And then you can go ahead, let's say you want to turn it into a black and white video. You can do that as well. And you can also change it according to a specific section of the video as well. So let me undo those. I'm just going to leave it back where we were. Okay, you can change the color, so the brightness. I've noticed sometimes the saturation on these videos are a little bit darker, so I tend to go a little bit less, and once it downloads, it looks a little more normal. That's just what I've noticed because I do have darker skin. And so you can do, just like in any video editing app, you can totally switch up the brightness, exposure, etc. In this area, you can speed up your video, you can reverse your video, you can do a freeze frame. Stabilizer is awesome if you're walking around and things are a little bumpy with your hands. That will help stabilize your video right here. In the transform, I like if you have something that has words, behind it, then you can go ahead and you can do the flip, and that will make the words come up where you can read them. Okay, so it does kind of like a mirror image. Of course, you can rotate this upside down and make all of these things. Wow, lots of notifications today. Sorry about that. Okay, next, you can do a mask where, depending on what you want it to look like, you can have certain areas of yourself being a mask, and then you can add in whatever is in that black area with another video. So that would be a whole other separate training. I'm just giving you a quick overview. So let me undo that really quickly. Of course, you can add in more blur to the whole thing if you would like. You can do the bokeh effect where you can, highlight a specific area, or do none. The nice thing is it's automatically doing it for you with the Aperture. So that is nice. Now this might work well with an imported video where you didn't have the opportunity to create that effect automatically. In fact, let's try that out because I think that's an important thing to note. So if you want to add something to your video that you have existing, you just click the plus add, and you're going to see all of these different things that you can add. Okay, so let me go to video and let me grab just any random video that's not. Okay, so let me grab this. I'm going to import it. I didn't create that in here, so this is just a regular story, let's say. So if I clicked into this and I come over to blur, then it gives me that bokeh. So perfect. So I can take this and I can do something similar to what it automatically does when you do the video inside of it, and I can create that blur. Of course, I'm going to, try to fit my whole self in there. It's a little trickier, right, when you're just trying to do it, but you can add it into videos that are pre-existing. So that is a very nice thing. Now here, you can also slightly blur them or really blur just any section of it. All right, so let's go back to none. Let's go back there. You can also do a chroma key, which means that you are able to add in a green screen and put whatever image or video you want behind it, which is amazing. And then opacity, you can blend, duplicate, and replace your videos. There's lots of information. We would be here for like an hour to go into every part of it, but like I said, we're just doing a general one. Now, one of these things I like is that you can also edit. So let's say I want to take out a specific part. I just click split, and that will make this its own little unit. And let's say I want to come over here and I want to split this as well, and I really don't need this little section right here. I can just click remove and it'll automatically switch it from one to the other, erasing that middle section. These little arrows right here in the middle, what that does is it lets you create a transition. So I can, for example, dissolve, I can do a square, I can do a waterfall. So there are a lot of different options with the transitions as well when you create those splits. So let's say I'm going from one video to another. I could do a flash, let's say. So let's go over here. Yes, I've got it on flash. So let's say I'm playing it, boom, it flashes, and then it goes to the next one. So that is pretty cool. Down here, you're able to add, like we said, you can add files, you can add photos on top of your video. So let's say I wanted to add this one. I can import it in, and then I can take this image and I can move it. If I want, it can be part of the timeline, but I can also put it on top of any other area. So I can grab it and I can move it here to the side. So then in that section, you can also make it longer or shorter. In that section, your image will pop up, and you can also add video on top of video, which is awesome. You can choose a clip. A clip will give you the ability to do a little intro, so like a countdown timer, that kind of thing. You can also add We did that. You can also add emojis and stickers that move around. So if I wanted this heart, I could grab it and I can put it over here so that when it plays, you'll see both that and that going on, so which makes it very interactive and fun. So I recommend if it's part of your style, definitely add in anything that's visually appealing. You're going to want to do that. Okay, and then we've got stickers. We've also have text. So text is really fun. Let's say I said hello. We've got the text there, but you can also edit the text. You can, of course, move it around. And you can change the font. Tons of different fonts for you to use. Okay. Something thick, something not as thick. You can also mask it. You can, if you want, you can blend. You can synthesize your speech so that it creates a speech layer. I'm gonna have to play around with that and see what that means. I hadn't seen that. And then you can also add some special effects to it. So let's click into this hello. Under color, you can change the color, of course, to a solid color to another color. But you can also add like the stroke effect. So if I wanted it to stand out a little bit in a different color, I can do that as well. So that's much easier to read, and you can add depth to it. So that's pretty fun. Makes it look professional as well. You can also have it be inside of a box with a specific fill if you wanted to. And you can add a gradient. So lots of fun options when it comes to text. I love that. You can also pick a color from here and just add in. If you know, you can do the border, the shadow, the background. Lots of different options for text. So very cool. And you can duplicate the text. So let's say I duplicated it. I've got two. You can also add layers here, which is what I love. So you can have one text come in here and then another text come in there. So you have lots of options. And then of course you can change the amount of time you see the text come up. So lots to do there. So you've got text. You can also add in your own subtitles that would come in here at the bottom. You just write them in or even upload them, which is very cool. You also have effects if you want any of these to come up during your video. It doesn't have to be for the whole video. It can be for just certain parts of it. If you have anything that needs to be blurred out, let's say you're showing some private information, but you want to show other parts of it, you can use this mosaic and basically, you know, blur out whatever section that you need so people won't see your important information. We can undo that. And you can also add your own background color. If, let's say, your video is smaller, and just with your fingers, you can squeeze and change the size of your video. So if you wanted to add a background, you could see how you can change the color so easily there. They have a nice variety of colors, which is great. Okay. And then you can also give it a cover. So let's say, you know how when you have videos and it just stops at, you know, when you're just looking really, really odd. So if, let's say you wanted to, let's say I wanted that to be it, I could set that as the cover. It takes a picture for you, actually. You add that in, and when it downloads, it will keep that for you so that that will be like the beginning image of your video, which is so awesome, so awesome. And then once again, you can change the ratio to whatever you want. They've got lots and lots of options and numbers. You can also add, if you look right here in this area, this is the video editing portion of it. You can also add music. So music is awesome here because You can add music from their own source right here. You can also add it straight from the video itself, or a video that you grab. And you can also add specific files to that. If you have it file, there are sounds like bubbles, all of these things, just to add some dynamic. And you can also do a voiceover, which is really cool. So I could say, I'm super excited that you are watching this video. Okay, and so now that sound, I'm not going to show it right now because I'm talking, and then I'm going to have the other talking on top of it, but it works really well for all of that. So you have so many different options here in the music area as well. To get back to the editing, you would just click on this and you are good to go. So many options, great editing features in this. And I think this is going to be super powerful, especially if you're looking to do some type of weekly show or constant videos for YouTube especially. But I think it works really well also to chop your best parts up into little pieces, and then you can use it for your other social media platforms such as Instagram or Facebook. All right, Faith-Preneurs, I hope you enjoyed that tutorial. It's a pretty awesome app and you're able to do so much with it. I really wish they had the Android version, but I promise I will be on the hunt for something like that soon. So here we go. If you enjoyed this tutorial and want to learn more about different apps, about faith, about business, and the message that God wants you to take to the marketplace, then go ahead and like, share, and subscribe to this channel. I will be bringing you more on a consistent basis, and I can't wait to see you next time.